Alrighty folks, figured I'd do an update on my Mako USA 2. It's been about 4-ish years now since I last reviewed this, and I've made some changes, and I've also learned a couple things. First off, the most obvious and immediate change is the bezel and bezel insert. So this is now the second Japanese-made watch I've had this issue with. First was my Seiko, and that is the original bezel insert actually fell out. I know these things are only held in with adhesive, and I typically use these watches the way they're supposed to be used. When jogging, swimming, bike riding, whatever. And I guess after a couple times in the pool and some rough water and rivers and lakes and such, I just noticed one day that bezel insert was no longer there. So while it's unfortunate, it also opened up the opportunity to do a bit of modding. And fortunately, these are common enough that there's a decent number of different bezel replacement and bezel inserts out there. I got mine from Long Island Watch, and I decided to go with the Pepsi, which, I mean, very, very fitting for the blue dial that this has. So it's a ceramic insert. All of this here is illuminated, which I'll give a lume shot later on. And the bezel itself is coin edge, which is a much better replacement in my mind. Much sharper looking, higher profile, easy to grasp, and the positivity of the clicks is just incredible. I'll let you listen. So super precise and even easier to grip underwater or with wet hands, while the original bezel was, it was okay. It wasn't great. But this here definitely just transforms the whole look. And even better, I'll show you how it jives with the NATO strap I purchased as well, which in fact I'm going to swap out this bracelet. And of course the bracelet, just like any other bracelet, it accumulates its fair share of scuffs and scratches. It's your typical kind of Seiko style clasp. The bracelet's great. It's all right. I couldn't find a wetsuit ratcheting extension, however, and that's what led me to go with a NATO. So I'm going to go and swap that out right now. This here is the one that I ended up getting. These here at the end of the day are, you can find them anywhere. Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, what have you. Typically ranging anywhere from $15 to $25 for a strap. This one here, of course, is a 22mm lug. And I decided to go with a color pattern that just really complements the bezel and dial color. So let's just skip ahead to that. So here we are, bracelet's been removed, new lug pins have been installed. Unfortunately, taking out pins is made pretty easy with this watch because it has these drilled lugs. So you literally just take your tool and pop the things right out. So a NATO, for those of you who don't know, really is kind of a great option. I'd recommend everyone with a diver or any kind of sports style watch, get a NATO strap. Because at the end of the day, it adds a bit of flexibility. You can change color patterns, and even just from a sheer practical standpoint, a NATO does definitely give you a bit of extra and added security. For those of you who don't know, the way this feeds through, the whole idea behind a NATO is that if one of your spring bars were to break, the watch still hangs on effectively, because both spring bars are kind of independently attached to a base strap, as opposed to a traditional bracelet. If one of the bars breaks, the whole watch is just gone. So I'll feed this guy through. Now this is your standard NATO, so basically it's a 4-ring. And there we have it. And the color pattern, I mean, in keeping with the Mako USA's namesake, figured might as well go full red, white, and blue. And I think the combination is killer. Yes, it's loud. Yes, it's colorful. But for a summer wear in and out of the water, you really can't beat it. Of course, these guys just feed in through these existing rings here. You can kind of structure this however you want. There. Bam. There we go. So I love how much this dresses it up. Kind of adds a bit of spice to a watch that at this point is getting a little older, so to say. I know the Orient Mako is kind of it's kind of been the replacement for the Mako USA 2, but you can still find these on Amazon and eBay, and even though they're out of stock on the company's website, still a great watch. Still totally in keeping with the latest stuff out there. Sapphire crystal, awesome movement, hacking and hand winding. Still keeps great time, though it is starting to slow down a little bit as the years go on. So I'm sure I'll end up doing a servicing on it at some point soon. But still a great timepiece. and I think the additions I've made to it, the modifications, have kind of spiced it up a bit. So just wanted to share that with everyone and hear your thoughts, and hopefully inspired you to do some modding of your own. Thanks, everybody.